Hi beautiful souls, it's Angel here. I trust we're all doing well. I'm at the beach right now, so you have to excuse the wind because it's very windy here. But I put my like fluffy thing on my microphone, so it kind of blocks a little bit of the wind out and makes it a little more bearable. Okay, in today's video I would like to invite you to sit down and relax and grab a tea, coffee, whatever you like to drink, a beverage of your choice, and enjoy. So I'm at our local beach, beautiful souls, and I've been collecting some shells. Look how many shells are here. So many. They wash up to the shore. You can get pink shells. Let's see if we can find a pink shell. You can get pink shells, you can get orange shells, you can get brown shells, you can get white shells, you can get red shells, you can get rainbow shells, you can get purple shells, and pretty much nearly any color you can think of, okay? And this is sort of the way life is as well, you know, because you can experience all types of things beautiful, all types of things great, all types of things horrible and terrible, and just across the whole entire spectrum, right? Life is full of endless possibilities. And you know, I know there's so many of you beautiful souls who are watching me, who are my audience, my beautiful subscribers and my followers. Whether you're new here, welcome, or whether you've been with me for a few years already, just know that, wow, you can hear the sound of the shells, it's so cool. Just know that, beautiful soul, no matter what you go through, whether good or bad, or maybe a mixture of everything, that God has your back. God always has your back. And at the end of the day, even when you feel like there is nothing left for you, look at this nice, beautiful pink shell. I love these. These are some of my favorite ones. When you feel like you've got nothing left, right? It's not the case. It never is. Even when you feel hopeless and you feel terrible and you feel like there is no one there for you, you have to remember that God has got your back. God is by your side at all times, every single minute of the day, every single second. Even when you feel like the loneliest person alive, God has got your back. Now, how can this be the case throughout all of the horrible things that we can experience in our lives? How can it be the case that God still has our back? Well, did God not send his only son, Christ, Yeshua, Jesus? Did he not send his son to die for our sins? Did he not send his son, Jesus, to come to earth, to be crucified and to die and resurrect for our sins? Did God not do that? Was that not the work of God? Did God not have his only son killed, murdered, tortured, stoned, and crucified in front of a crowd of people, mocking him, laughing him, pointing at him? Did God not do this? Was this not the act or the work of God? Now, beautiful souls, comment down below your feelings on this, because I think we tend to forget as human beings at times this great example of Christ. When we experience such terrible hardship, beautiful souls, you have to remember Christ at all times and his role, the role that he played within the development of our humanity. He died for our sins. So now think about it like that. If God, our Father, our Creator, can do that to you, to Christ, what can he do to us? How can he shape our experience? How can he test us in the most horrendous ways possible, where we feel like it will never end, okay? When it feels like the pain will simply never end. Why does God do this? Why does he test his chosen ones? He tests you, beautiful soul, because you are his child. And he tested Christ. And he tests every single individual that is of him. Why? Because he gave you gifts. And for some reason, we live in a planet that is bound by duality. We live on a world that is bound by the light and the dark. For some reason, don't ask me why. God, our Father, our Creator in heaven, he created the 3D realm to his liking, and it just so happened to be a bit like that. So for this reason, beautiful souls, you have to sometimes experience the worst possible hardships in order to reach the gold, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the light at the end of a dark tunnel that seems never ending. And that's just the way it is sometimes, okay, my beautiful souls? So I want to remind you of that. You know, for me personally, over the last several months, since I started recollecting the memories of my horrific abuse experience with my father, who I will no longer ever have contact with again, you know, since I've been remembering these things from what happened in my childhood, beautiful souls, which some of you have already seen on my previous videos, you can check them out, they're on my channel. You know, this has reminded me again, and so many times I've had to be reminded, maybe like you, maybe things keep coming your way and things keep hitting you and slapping you in the face over and over and over again, and you're like, why on earth does this stuff keep happening to me? Like, can it just end? You know, can the misery just end already? You know, God, I've had enough. God, why are you putting me through these tests? God, why are you doing this to me? But look at Christ. Christ prospered. No matter what happened, no matter when he was stoned, he was mocked, he was spat at, Christ prospered. Just like me, just like you, beautiful souls. We prosper throughout the darkness. You know, I came to realize very recently that when I was just 16, 17 years old, and I went to go away with someone who I thought I was in love with. He was a man several plus years older than myself. And beautiful souls, I came to understand that in order for me to go with this man, my dad asked him for a lot of money. My dad asked this man for a lot of money, and at the time when I asked him, hey, how come my dad owes you these thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds? Hey, why does my dad owe this to you? And he would tell me, oh, you know, it was just for, you know, some bills or something like that, because my dad lives in poverty. But at the same time, I came to understand that, hey, it was never intended as a loan. It was never intended for borrowing. My dad had sold me to a man several plus years older than myself when I was a minor in order for me to leave the country and be with him. That was the exchange that my dad made with him behind my back, beautiful souls. You know, how can some people be so sick? How can some people be so horrific to their own children, to their own offspring? This is really a question that sometimes we find ourselves asking. Like, for example, in my case, the money that was given to my dad when the man took me and I went away with him to another country for a prolonged period of time was never intended as a loan. My dad would have never ever have been able to pay that money back, and guess what? He never did. And when I confronted him about this a few months back through his mother as a medium, he lied directly to her and said, oh, I paid it back already, that was so long ago. That was several thousand plus pounds. You cannot pay that back because he lives in poverty. He doesn't have a job, he's sick, he's unemployed, and he's never had any job or form of employment for the last 10 plus years that's ever been stable. He's always been struggling for money, just making ends meet with almost £0 in his bank account. How was he ever going to pay this man back the $10,000 that he gave to him when he took me when I was just 16 or 17 years old? This man who was a lot older than me. My dad took advantage of a situation. He saw a loophole, he saw a gap. He said, hey, I think I can, you know, make some money out of this situation. Otherwise, I'm not gonna let this guy take my daughter away. because that man had just inherited a whole bunch of money. And so it's really quite sick. You know, it's sick how some people are. Sometimes even your own parents, beautiful souls, are the most dirtiest scumbags on this planet that you can come across. And yet they want to present themselves as sheep, as wolves. Sorry, they want to present themselves as sheep in wolves' clothing. And so this is the way it is. My father was a sheep, pretending to be a sheep, but really he was actually a wolf dressed in sheep's clothing. This is also another verse from the Bible, which is very important to touch upon as well, beautiful souls. Sometimes you encounter people in your life who may be very close to you, even your own parents, and yet they are nothing but a wolf in disguise with the exterior of a sheep. And that is all they are. I'm here at my local beach, okay? I say local because it's local to us, where we live in El Salvador. And I've been living here in El Salvador now for the past 2+ years, going on to 3 years now. Happily married, we built a house, okay? I'm a mother to our baby, had our baby here. And I'm living in peace now. Finally, I have peace and safety for one of the first times in my whole life. After realizing that I was sold as a 17-year-old, you know what? It could have been way worse. I could have been sold to some major trade like a lot of people are, and it's absolutely horrible. But no, it was done in a family setting. It was done with a friendly and familiar guise. And you know what, beautiful souls? Sometimes that's even worse, because when these things get done to you with the guise of love by wolves in sheep's clothing, who are betraying you, who are your acting like your friend, or even worse, who are your own family, who is your father, okay? This is probably one of the worst things that can happen to you. Child trafficking is not a joke. Sometimes it happens on a really tiny scale, like the one incident that occurred in my case, but you know, God bless the beautiful children out there who are really stuck in some mess. I'm fortunate and I'm grateful that, you know, I never encountered anything more. Everything that happened to me was done with a guise of love. However, it was just as sick and twisted as anything as the day goes. So at the end of the day, I come to accept these things, beautiful souls, and I'm reminded yet again of the example of Christ, and that God sent his only son, his only begotten son, for us to die, to be crucified, right? To be crucified on the cross, to die for our sins. And there is nothing that compares to that. I'm not dead, I'm still alive. You're still alive, beautiful soul. You're still here with us. You're breathing, you're watching me, you're reading, you're writing. If you're here with me, hit this like button, okay? And share this video to your friends and family who need to hear it as well. And be sure to subscribe if you're new here. Beautiful souls, if you are called to pursue the life of Christ, if you are called to live like Christ, to be like Christ, if you are called to embody your true power, your passion, and your potential beyond any means whatsoever. Hey, look at this tiny little awesome unicorn shell. I love these. This one's so small. If you're called to embody your purpose fully, beautiful souls, no matter what suffering comes your way, then my school of light is for you. For those of you who aren't aware, or maybe you are, but you haven't signed up yet, check out my link down below, okay? Because I am forming a school of light based on the teachings of Christ, spirituality, self-development, and all things great, okay? And you can find out more about that on my link down below, as well as the information about my teachers, who I call my light team, who are going to be there with us and teaching, okay? We're going to be doing live weekly calls, live like this, one-to-one, where you can see us. You're going to be able to access free light language and Reiki healing from me, Angel, and my teachers as well. In the group, in the 24/7 live community, we're gonna have different libraries and sections where you can access unlimited knowledge and resources that we will be building up over time that only our students can access. Okay, and it's gonna be really, really magical, and I can't wait to have you there on board with us. So be sure to sign up for my waitlist. The waitlist is completely free. However, I'm only going to be accepting my first 30 free students with an extremely discounted price of just $37 a month. After that, after our first 30 free of you beautiful souls get on board with us, the price from 37 is going to go all the way up to 97. So for the first 30 free founding members of the School of Light, this is your chance. If you are called as a child of God to network with other like-minded beautiful souls, to gain insight, to be guided by my beautiful teachers. And all of our teachers, by the way, specialize in their own specific area, from healing, from EFT, from coaching to guidance, from shamanism to medicine, holistic medicine, okay, astrology, the study of the universe, the study of the Bible, the teachings of Christ, the hidden wisdom and the hidden books from the Bible, what was removed, the things that the system don't want us to know. We are going to be there for you beautiful souls. So get on board now. If you are feeling called to live like Christ and to surround yourself with beautiful, like-minded individuals like myself, then now is your chance. My link is in the description. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much from my heart and soul for supporting me, supporting my work, being a part of this journey. And subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you very, very soon. Okay, God bless you beautiful souls, and bye-bye. I also found some really, really beautiful shells right here, which I wanted to show you before I leave. This one is a big shell. This one washed up on the shore today. So this one I found, and this one as well. This one is really cool. This little snail type of shell. And then I found this one is like a worn down version of the one here. And then I found this one, which is also worn down, but we got the Fibonacci spiral there. It's really pretty, really beautiful spiral. These are all the pink shells, beautiful souls, because the pink shells are honestly my favorite shells. I mean, look at that, and look at this. Look at these pink shells. Look how beautiful they are. Completely natural. These little beautiful unicorn shells, I call them. And then I love these ones. These ones are also really awesome. These are the white shells with pink in the center. These ones I love. You can find these everywhere here. And then like some orange shells, you know, like these types. And what else did I find? Oh, another orange shell here, really nice. And I found this cool, like, kind of rainbowy shell. It's got like all different colors on it, like purples and oranges. You can see that. And oops, I also love the big white shells. They're really pretty as well. This one's got some sand on it, but you can see. Sometimes you get really huge ones, like half of the size of my hand with these. And the shells at another beach, they're like these giant pearl shells. And next time we go there, I'm going to show you. So subscribe for that. It's another unicorn one, snail type. Very cool. More orangey shells. But yeah, I love my pink shells. They're the best. They're my favorites, personally. We got one of these at home, a really big one as well, with the top still on. Like, this part is not broken. But this one I found today. And they just wash up, honestly, like, along the shore here. Thanks for being here, beautiful souls.